All right, so my original video for this week was going to be talking about what do you do when you face adversity and how do you ask the right questions? And I'm going to scratch that because it's not flowing, it's not coming through in the way that I want it to. So instead I'm going to talk to you about something that I'm really facing right now, and I want to talk with you guys about that. Sometimes I find that there's so much that I want to do and so many things that I feel called to do, and I don't know how to fit them all in. And so I piecemeal things together. I'm going to do a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here, and I'm going to try and fit this in. And one of the things that I've been figuring out as I've started to do these videos for YouTube is that I need to change kind of how I'm approaching this and figure out a flow and a way that this works for me and for my lifestyle and for my being a mom and being a therapist and doing all of the things that I have. Sometimes I find myself feeling like I've got all of these balls in the air that I'm juggling, and then I'm going, okay, Tuesdays I'm gonna get a video and get it up on Wednesdays, and I feel like I'm forcing it and I'm pushing it and not carving out the space to really just do it and to feel comfortable with doing it and giving myself the space. And so I am learning as I'm going. And one of the things that I'm really learning is that with anything, that we have to make time in our life for the things that matter to us. And this is something I am really passionate about. I really want to help people. I want to help all of you find better paths to freedom. I want to help people to get out of the ruts of recapitulating the same struggles over and over and over again and not feeling like they're making any progress. I have talked to so many people over the years that have gone to therapy before and have said, you know, I felt like it helped, but I really never saw the growth that I really wanted to see. And in fact, I received a phone call from a new client yesterday, and he said, you know, I've gone to therapy before, but it was helpful. I was appreciative that I could talk about things, but it wasn't transformative. And I want people to be transformed. I have been transformed. I am not the same person that I was 10 years ago. Not just because we're dynamic creatures and we should always be evolving, but because I've put intention and effort behind it. And with anything in our life that matters, we need to carve out time when we need to make time. And one of the things that I've been doing with these YouTube videos is I'm like trying to squeeze them in to where I've got a little chunk of time and I can do a video and I can get it up and get it out there. But I'm not really giving myself the full time that I need to really just be with it and to do it. And so I'm going to be changing some things. I am going to be doing videos on a different day. I'm going to record them on a different day, and I think I'm going to upload them on a different day because I want to be able to engage in conversations with all of you. And I put them up on Wednesdays because that was the day I said, okay, I'm going to do it on Wednesdays, and I'm, you know, working at following through on that. But I'm realizing I'm with clients and seeing clients all day long, so I have no way to interact or engage in conversations after I put the video up. And that's not the reason that I'm doing this. I want to be able to start conversations. I want people to comment. I want them to share. And I want to be engaged in a journey with all of you to support and to help your growth and development. And I can't do that if I'm not creating the time and the space to be here for you guys. So showing up is also creating the space to do that. And I wasn't allowing myself that. So you guys, I'm changing some things. Interruption in our regularly scheduled programming. I'm going to be sharing the videos on a day when I know that I can be really present and engage in conversations with you guys and be plugged in because I want to be a resource for people as they're really trying to create change. All right, so that's that part. I am going to talk a little bit about what this week's video was supposed to be about. And you can go to my website at riverhealing.com to read the blog that I did write about it, and certainly comment below and I will respond. But here's what came up for me is a lot of people, when they're facing challenges and adversity, you know, they'll say while they're in the midst of it, I know that there's a reason that this happened. I know there's a reason that this happened. And then it's like crickets. Like, where do I go after that? So it's great that we can recognize, I think, that whatever is happening in our life, there is a reason, and there is a bigger understanding sometimes than what we can access. But we've got to figure out, when we're in it, how do we have the right attitude and mindset to face what we're going through? Well, one thing that I always keep in mind, I love quotes. I love quotes for so many reasons, but one of the biggest ones is they remind me of what I already understand to be true. So Tony Robbins says that life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. So whenever I'm facing a situation, no matter how hard it is, I remember that, and I will say that this is for me, not to me. Whatever is in front of me is for me. It's for my growth, it's for my evolution, and it's for my development, and it is for my highest good. So I align with that to begin with. I say that to myself. And then instead of saying, well, I know there's a reason, I actually get curious about what is going on here. What are the feelings that I'm having? What is coming up for me? Am I seeing a situation that I've found myself in many times over? That would indicate there's a pattern here and there's something for me to learn. Is there an opportunity for growth in this situation? Is this calling for me to bring my strongest, wisest, and best self to the table? Sometimes we're faced with challenging situations, and it's so our spirit can really grow. We can develop a greater capacity to hold space for our own feelings, other people's feelings. And so I look at challenges now as, what is the opportunity for me to grow? What is the invitation into higher consciousness? I am just so not down anymore with, oh, I know this is happening for a reason, but it just sucks. Like, I don't want to be in that place. I'm not in that place. I don't allow my clients to be in that place, and I don't want you guys to be in that place. Life is always going to present challenges. My girlfriend Shannon, she says her father has got this wonderful wisdom, and one of the things that she'll say is, her dad's, one of his comments is, don't worry about the other shoe falling. It always will. The other shoe will always drop. And that's so true. We know that. It's like we worry, okay, but I don't know when the next shoe is going to drop, or what else is going to happen. Stuff is always going to happen. That's life. It is always happening. But the challenge for us is, how can we grow? How can we align with what's happening instead of being in resistance to it? How can we use this opportunity in front of us to say, you know what, this is going to help me to evolve. But I have to make that choice. I have to get out of that victim mindset and into a growth mindset. When we approach our challenges in that way, it creates an opportunity for something even bigger to come in. Yeah, I'm like sitting with, like, do I share this story? Do I not? Okay, so I'm going to share it. So, being in business for myself and being a single mom, I am the sole provider. And just like in any business, for all of you people that are business owners, you know that there are ebbs and flows. There's times where there's an abundance of business, and then times when it gets slower. And I was going through a period where I had spent, and I have spent, a lot of money on a lot of training and traveling to Washington for training that has been profoundly transformative and so worth every single penny that I've spent on it. And I do a lot of training. And so I had come to a place where, like, it felt like the walls were kind of crunching in, and my finances were getting more restrictive. And I was out for a walk with Sophie, and I was listening actually to Tony Robbins' Master the Money Game. And I was out, and as I was walking, the thought that came through me wasn't about, oh, how am I going to get through this? It was this. This is a great opportunity to teach me to be a better steward of money, because more is there. There's an abundance of it, and more is going to be flowing into my life. I know that to be true. I affirm that to be true. And so what a great opportunity for me to learn how to become an even better money manager, so that when there's more of it, I am in a place where I'm in right relationship with that money. So as soon as I changed my thoughts to that, Millions of dollars started flowing in. I'm just kidding. That's not really what happened. But my energy around what was going on completely shifted. It felt good to say, you know what, I'm canceling cable. I don't really watch TV and I don't need to spend $150 on cable a month anyway. So that's a good decision. And I felt good about it. And what's so funny is I remember so many years ago when I was married in the beginning years of my marriage with my husband, money was so tight. And we came to a time where we had to cancel cable. And I felt like it was like the worst thing in the world. It felt horrible to do that. It just felt like I was losing something, as opposed to this time it was, and this was like a year ago, I think, that I canceled my cable. It was more like, you know what, that's not where I want to spend my money. I don't spend much time watching TV, and being a good steward of my resources is being intentional about where I allocate, where I want to spend my money. And so it had a totally different feel to it. It had a totally different energy to it. And it was because instead of focusing on, I know this is happening for a reason, that just feels so like powerless. Instead, it was empowering to say, wait, there's something for me to learn here. And this is a great opportunity. And I've got this. So when you're faced with challenges, instead of asking yourself, you know, what's the reason? Ask yourself different questions. How can this help me to grow? What is this opportunity teaching me? Is this a situation that I've been in before? And so clearly there's a lesson here for me to learn. How is it that God wants me to grow in spirit, in love, in compassion, and in connection, and in unity with other people? What is this lesson teaching me? And how can I walk this journey with grace? So that's my message for this week. I hope that finds some meaning in your life. I hope you can look at some of the challenges that you are facing or have faced or will face and go into a higher vibrational place with it and look at it from the standpoint of, this is happening for me, so there's something here for me to gain from this situation, regardless of how challenging it is. And life is challenging. We know that. You know, one of the first, I think in the book, The Road Less Traveled, the very first sentence is, life is hard. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's also beautiful and wonderful and amazing and full of so much joy too. So until next time, I am sending you all love and good wishes for just a peaceful state of mind, and encouraging you to connect with what is the lesson for you to grow, and to keep asking yourself, how can I grow in this situation and in every situation that we faced? How can I bring my best self to the game? All right. Have a great week. We will connect again. I will see you guys next week. Much love. Mwah.